about what we know is on this card. We have one match in particular that's on this card. It is something that happened at the last card as well, too. Tony Novak, Colton Kelly. They were having a match last time. Double count out, no victory for either one of these two individuals. Tony's claiming rights to get a rematch against Sheik Akbar Shabazz after feeling like he was robbed in his second opportunity for the belt. Colton Kelly, we know, officially has a legitimate claim to the title matchup. If it wasn't for getting attacked and being injured, then he would have had his title shot, never got it. He's now back, wants that title shot. So these two are going to collide one-on-one in a number one contenders match at Prairie Pro Wrestling Season Beatings this Saturday night. And I'm going to go to you first, Basser. Looking at this one in particular, what do you think the outcome's going to be? And do you think Sheik has got a favorite in this one, who he would prefer to take on when at the victor of?
I feel like Tony's had a lot of chances. And I feel like Tony knows he's had a lot of chances. I feel like this is Tony's last chance. Normally, I wouldn't be betting on Tony, but on this night, I have Tony. And I bet Sheik's wanting Tony because he's smaller. He's easier to throw around. But I think we're betting on Tony this Saturday.
And don't underestimate him because, again, had it not been for the DQ call by the referee, Tony would have won the championship at the last matchup. He had Sheik pinned. He had him beat. Referee calls for the DQ, and it never happens. Before we go to you on the same question, Papa Smokes, we welcome Mel Ball Collins up in the house. How are you doing, Mel? Glad to see you here on Ring Respect Radio. Thank you for tuning in. We got Bobby saying he's picking Tony Novak as well, too. Seems like people leaning towards Novak this time. The different story several months ago when Tony Novak got that first shot against Sheiky. Now all of a sudden a bit of a turnaround where people might be feeling that energy of Rocket Shoe Tony Novak. Papa Smokes, how about yourself on this encounter? Who do you think?
Yeah, I totally feel it for Rocket Shoes Novak. I was one of the ones that sang his praises before his first title shot. Some people said, oh, it's too soon. He's too young. No, he doesn't have enough victories. No, I thought it was a good idea. The first time they met didn't go so great for Novak. He got some stuff in, but it was kind of a one-sided victory on the Sheik's part. The second match, however, was a lot different. Like we talked about on the podcast at the time, Tony did his homework. He looked at his weaknesses in that first match. He looked at what the problems were, and he came out to that second match with a completely different game plan. A game plan that looked like it was going to win. If the referee hadn't been out of position, he probably would have had that 3 count. If the disqualification wasn't called, he might have had the 3 count there too. That second time, very, very close. So whereas I see that both wrestlers have a claim on wanting that next title shot, Colton Kelly having earned his in the tag team match with Cannonball Kelly, pinning Sheik Akbar Shabazz in the tag match. Obviously, he still do his rematch.
So I'm wondering, though, does PPW management remove that opportunity for Colton Kelly if he isn't victorious? Like, if Tony beats him, does PPW management then wipe the slate clean and take away the opportunity for Colton Kelly completely?
Maybe Colton will be the first challenger.
Could be. In fact, maybe Tony would owe him a challenge if Tony was to go on and win that title. But again, we've seen, Tony has been very surprising since coming to PPW. I know, Papa Smokes, you and I saw this young man taken from the audience at an HIW show here in Saskatoon. He looked like he was just dressed there to be a fan. He was there with, his lady at his side, and he gets dragged into the ring by El Asesino. Gets brought in there, gets his nose broken that very night by El Asesino. Just absolutely color everywhere from it. But the one surprising thing was he got an upset victory over El Asesino on that night, and that is what earned him an opportunity to be working at HIW. And since then, he continued to train, to practice, to be there all the time. He worked his way up. But when PPW started, he took those opportunities. He went out there. The confidence grew. And he actually, if you look back, Tony's wins outweigh his losses in Prairie Pro Wrestling. And people have been sleeping on it for quite some time. Papa Smokes and I have been saying it for a while. Watch out, because again, it's that heart, it's that tenacity of Tony Novak. It's that drive to do better that keeps him kind of at the top. And despite all the naysayers out there, I think Tony Novak, I'm going to have to say as well, a surprising pick for this Saturday. I love Colton Kelly. Don't get me wrong. Colton Kelly, a very established, great wrestler, but damn, it's going to be interesting.